All right. Today, we are diving into a biological connection so deep, so profound, that you literally carry it with you for your entire life. And it all starts with one pretty surprising question. I mean, really think about that for a second. Every cell that makes up your brain, your heart, your skin, are they all genetically you? You'd probably say yes, right? Well, it turns out the answer is a fascinating and definite no. You're actually a mosaic. The scientific name for this is microchimerism. It just means that you've got a small number of cells inside you that came from someone else. And the story of how you became this beautiful biological blend, well, it begins way before you were even born.
So let's start with the most basic idea, which is this incredible two-way street of cellular exchange that happens during every single pregnancy. First up, we've got something called fetal to maternal cell transmission, or FMCT. We all learn that nutrients and oxygen cross the placenta from mother to child. But it turns out that's not all that's crossing over. During pregnancy, a fetus's own cells, and we're talking powerful stem cells here, actually migrate through the placenta and slip into the mother's bloodstream. From there, they travel all over her body and just move in. And this isn't some rare thing. It's a totally normal process that happens in all pregnancies. And what's just wild is where these little cellular souvenirs end up. Scientists have found them everywhere. In a mother's brain, her heart, her lungs, her liver, her kidneys, even her skin. They literally become a living, permanent part of her. And when I say permanent, I mean it. One study found fetal cells from a son, which are easy to track because of the Y chromosome, still alive and kicking in his mother's bloodstream 27 years after she gave birth. These aren't just memories, they are living heirlooms. But here's the thing, it's not a one-way street. A mother also gives a part of herself to her developing child. This process is called maternal to fetal cell transmission, or MFCT. So a mother's cells also cross that same placental barrier and enter her fetus's body. So just as her child's cells become a part of her, her cells become a part of her child. And they can stick around for decades, sometimes for a whole lifetime. Okay, so this is where it gets even more wild. This whole cellular exchange isn't just between a mother and her child. It can actually connect siblings, even siblings who never got the chance to meet. This idea is called fetus-to-fetus cell transmission. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. Cells from one fetus can somehow end up inside another fetus. So how on earth does that happen? Well, the mother is the bridge. Fetal cells from an older sibling can stay behind in the mother's body, remember? Then, when she becomes pregnant again, those older cells can cross the placenta a second time and enter the body of the younger sibling. Yeah, it means you might be carrying the cells of your older brother or sister inside you right now. And this incredible exchange doesn't just stop at birth. Oh no. The connection keeps going through one of the most fundamental acts of nurture there is, breastfeeding. So after the baby's born, we see what's known as maternal to infant cell transmission. This is a direct transfer of the mother's own cells to her new baby. You see, breast milk isn't just food. It's actually a living fluid, packed with the mother's cells. So when an infant breastfeeds, they're getting a dose of their mom's cells, which can help prime their immune system and build tolerance. It's amazing stuff. And if you thought that whole cellular siblings thing was mind-bending, this next one takes it to a whole new level. It's called fetus to infant cell transmission, or FICT. So check this out. Remember those cells from an older sibling that are just hanging out in the mother? Well, they can actually move into her breast tissue and get mixed into her breast milk, which means a newborn baby could be drinking milk that contains cells from their older brother or sister, a direct cellular link, right there. But out of all these different pathways, there's one that is just the most profound, the most elegant, full circle journey. It's a biological loop that connects a child back to themselves by way of their mother. It's called the fetus, breast milk, breastfeeding, infant cells cycle. Yeah, it's a mouthful, so we'll call it the FBBIC cycle. You can think of it as the ultimate biological boomerang. Let's break this down, because it's so cool. First, the fetus's cells travel into the mother. Step 2, while they're there, those cells get exposed to everything the mom is, her environment, her immune system. They're basically getting an education. Step 3, those same fetal cells then move into her breast tissue and into her milk. And finally, step 4, through breastfeeding, the baby gets its very own cells back, but now they're carrying all this new information from their journey through their mother. It's just an incredible system.
So, okay, this is a fascinating biological story for sure, but what does it all mean? What are the real-world consequences of us all being these human chimeras? Why does any of this matter for our health?
Well, it's really a double-edged sword. On one hand, these foreign cells can be a huge force for good. They've been seen participating in tissue repair in mothers, rushing to sites of injury. They might help build immune tolerance and could even have an anti-cancer role. But on the other hand, microchimerism has also been linked to some autoimmune diseases. It can be a way for pathogens to be transferred, and it can definitely complicate things like prenatal genetic testing. The implications here are just massive. So big, in fact, that researchers are asking some huge questions. This quote from one of the papers even suggests that the constant repair work being done by these young, fresh fetal cells in a mother's body might be one reason why women tend to live longer than men. Now that is a powerful idea.
And that brings us to the final thought. What we've learned is that we carry these living pieces of our mothers, our children, even our siblings inside of us for our entire lives. These aren't just sweet metaphors for being connected, it's a biological reality. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where does the biological self truly end and another person begin? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.